Y'all awake? What you think about that question? Are we woke or are we awake? Yeah. There's no dead things. Are we awake? Or are we sleeping? I think anytime we can't gather up a praise, we might be sleeping because he's so worthy. I think anytime praise and worship escape us, we might be sleeping. Because every blink, every thought I think, every inhale, every exhale, he's still worthy. Every time I breathe in, he's still worthy. Every time I breathe out, he's still worthy. So anytime you don't think about the goodness of God, you must be sleeping. But our text today said that now it's a high time to awake out of your sleep. Yeah. I mean, it's time for the church to wake up. The church wake up, the world wake up. In the morning time when Jakaya get up, we have her wake up her brothers and sisters. Yeah. We got you up, now get them up. Yeah. Yeah, so if the church wake up, yeah, it'll get them up. My God. Yeah. Tell your neighbor, get up. Get dressed. And get out. Yeah. Get up. Get dressed. And get out. Deacon Bell, if you put up Romans, the 13th chapter, I'll be reading verses 11 through 14 for your hearing. Coming from the New King James Version. Because he's still worthy. Real worthy. Still real worthy. Yeah. And it's the perfect time to wake up. Because he's moving. So I need to wake up and move too. So we won't miss. Oh, yeah, there you go. A sleep or a miss. You sleep, you'll miss something. Yeah, if you sleep, you'll miss something, yeah. Romans, the 13th chapter, starting at verse 11, and it reads, "And do this, knowing the time, that now," somebody say now, "is a high time to awake out of sleep." Now is knowing the time, alarm clock, knowing the time, that now is a high time to awake out of sleep. For now, somebody say now, our salvation or judgment is nearer than when we first believed. The night is far spent. I mean, playtime over. The night is far spent and the day is at hand. Therefore, let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. And verse 13 says, "Let us walk properly as in the day." Y'all get that later. Let us walk properly as in the day. Everybody see you in the, yeah, walk like we see you. Yeah, walk like he see you. It said, let us walk properly as in the day. Yeah, most people just walk crooked at night when it, it said, let us walk properly as in the day, not in revelry and drunkenness, not in lewdness or lust, not in strife and envy, but put on, somebody say get dressed. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh. And make no, reading that means that some people are providing for the, some people are making provision. It said make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust. Make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust. You may be seated. Get up. Get dressed. And get out. Yeah. Make no provision Don't make it easy for them. Some of us have been in the kitchen helping them cook. Wow. Helping them cook up our downfall. Cook up our wrap up. That's a wrap you don't want to eat. Yeah, man, no provisions. Yeah, not fit at all. Yeah, it's a high time, my God. That's heavy. It's a high time to wake up out of your sleep. I'm going to stay right here, Deacon Bell. I'm going to hold on to it for multimedia purposes. See, throughout the Bible, we encounter many people at many times that were sleeping in odd times. Sleeping in the wrong time, sleeping when they shouldn't be asleep. Matter of fact, in Genesis 15, Abraham fell asleep while God was talking to him. Daniel had peace, but he still slept in the lion's den. In Acts, Peter was sleeping the night before Herod was going to put him to death. The 10 virgins waiting on the bridegroom fell asleep while waiting on the union. Wake up, church, wake up, church, wake up, church. So people are sleeping at odd times. So today I want to talk about the dangers of being spiritually asleep. Yeah. The dangers of being spiritually asleep. And I'll give you 3 reasons and 3 examples. For one, we got to wake up because the lost are dependent on us. That's one. Reach the lost at all costs. It's going to cost you to wake up. Yeah. So we got to wake up because the lost are dependent on us. Number 2, we have to wake up because the enemy is after us. And number 3, we need to wake up because God needs us. Yeah, number 1, because the lost are dependent on us. Number 2, the enemy is after us. And number 3, God needs us. Somebody say, stay woke. See, when we get to point 1 and it talks about the lost dependent on us, if you think back to Jonah, the 1st chapter, God gave Jonah instructions to give a word that would save all of Nineveh. Not 1, 2 people. Yeah. Salvation was coming to Nineveh like salvation is coming to Lawton. And he gave Jonah a word and he gave Jonah instructions because guess what? Nineveh was lost. But see, God sent somebody. He wanted somebody to send a word to find him. So, and Jonah, he not only didn't obey God, but he went the wrong direction. He did when first. I remember when First Lady prayed. Sometimes she say sins of omission and commission. That's what I left out. And that's what I did contrary. You see what I'm saying? And so he not only it wasn't just omission, it was commission. And he went in the entire wrong direction, and then he got on a ship. In sin, on a ship. In sin, on a ship. Oh, if I had time. Fellowship, relationship, partnership. In sin and partnership. In sin, fellowship. Ships take you places. Wow. And you not riding in style, you riding in sin. Wow. Jonah wasn't riding in style. Jonah was riding in sin. And like many people, he was comfortable enough to sleep in the sin. He went complete opposite of where the Lord told him to go. And in his disobedience, he was so comfortable that he slept in sin in a storm. But the lost was still lost. And how many know, see, Jonah had a sleeping condition, and some people have sleeping conditions, but how many know sin is a sleeping condition? Sin is a spiritual sleeping condition. And see, instead of repenting, Jonah was sleeping. Instead of calling on God, Jonah was sleeping. Instead of delivering a word to deliver the people to say the lost, Jonah was sleeping. Nineveh still lost. He sleeps. Instructions still on the table. He sleep. Storms still raging. He sleep. And see, look, even the other folks, they didn't know the right God, but they knew that sleep wasn't the answer. When the storm hit the ship, they were calling the wrong God, Bishop, but they knew that this is a God thing. They didn't have the right one, but the one who had the answer, the one who could communicate with the storm stopper was. And this is what, look, even the captain went down. He said, how can you sleep? He said, get up and call on God. They figured out that the God they calling wasn't enough, but the sleeper, the last line of communication to stop the storm was between the sleeper and even the captain. That can represent the world. The world knew the answer wasn't sleep. But the man of God was. And you got to realize too, Nineveh never even got saved until Jonah woke up. Until he went to Nineveh and he gave the word, because the word was still, the offer was still on the table. And it didn't happen, and I want you to see that it don't happen until he woke up. He didn't get his mind renewed. He got his punishment. He got that. He didn't get a second chance until he woke up. Wow. And some of us can't get another chance because we ain't woke. Until you wake up, you can't wake them up. And so Jonah had to wake up, get up, and then he had to go to Nineveh. Because God had given instructions, because the laws are dependent on the church to be woke. And they can't get what they need until we get up. Until we wake up. And see, just like us, the nations that we're charged to disciple, the nations that we're charged to make disciples out of, they won't get it until we get up, until we get out. See, Jonah was what a lot of us are doing. Jonah was sleepwalking. When you ain't seeing, you sleepwalking. You're functioning, but you're not awake. He was sleepwalking. And it said the danger of this is that the people can't be reached if we not awake. Church, wake up. Church, wake up. Body of Christ, wake up. Fivefold, wake up. Christians, wake up. Disciples of Christ, wake up. Because the loss is dependent on it. And then if we stumble over the judges, we find another strong sleeper. Woo. We find a strong sleeper named Samson. And see, Jonah was sleepwalking, but Samson was sleep talking. We're gonna get to that too. He was sleep talking because he was awake, but his discernment was sleep. It said, see, many times Delilah came to him and said, tell me the source of your strength. Tell me what it is that makes you so strong. Tell me why we can't stop you. Tell me why we can't bind you. Tell you why every attack that we hit you with would not stand against you. And see, first, Bishop, he wasn't telling her the truth, but his discernment was dozing off. And so what he did was she was trying to find the source of the strength so she could turn him over to the enemy without power. And that's what the devil had put people in place today. That's laying your head in their lap so they can turn you over to the enemy without power. And then you will receive power. So the goal of the enemy when he's after you, why you got to be woke, is because the enemy is attempting to turn you over without power. How many know that's the enemy's desire right there? Not turn you over strong. Not turn you over full, not turn you over built up, but turn you over without power. And when Samson let his discernment go to sleep while his body went to sleep, he revealed. So every time, see, he didn't get it. This is how you know he was asleep. When every single time, whatever he said, whether it was the source or not, he went to sleep one way, woke up with the enemy at the door. Did it again, repeated the cycle. Said something else, went to sleep. Woke up, enemy at the door. He not putting these pieces together, is he? Because he's spiritually asleep. And so the very last time, he not only gave something, but he gave the source. He gave the enemy the tool to. The enemy is wondering what he needs to get with. And he's spiritually asleep, and he gave it away. And so he went to sleep strong. And he woke up powerless. And you can go to sleep strong, people of God. Yeah. And you can wake up in a totally different place if your discernment is asleep. Church, wake up. He handed his source into the enemy's hands. And some of us are doing the same thing, and we went to sleep strong. And woke up and wonder why we can't break what we used to break, and wonder why we can't shake what we used to shake, and the same bone that we used to swing with ain't hitting stuff anymore, and the knife we used to cut with is dull now, and we went to sleep strong and woke up powerless. And see, and a matter of fact, what it said that she did, Prophet Hall, it said that she made sure he was comfortable enough to sleep. She laid his head in her lap. Wow. Ran her fingers through what she was about to take off of him. Ooh. How many times had the enemy ran his fingers through what he trying to... Bishop, pickpockets will touch you twice and be... If you not, they tell you when you go to, what they tell us, baby, when we went to Hollywood, they said put your wallet and stuff that your belongings that you care about in your front pockets where you can. Because if you slumber or sleep and get took, you could leave without something you came with. He entered the house, entered the bed, entered the sleep, strong, woke up powerless. His discernment was sleep. And he couldn't see that the enemy was after him because he's sleeping. You can't fight sleeping. You can't pray sleeping. You can't fast sleeping. So he needed to wake up and see, Bishop. The greatest tragedy of this is that we should be awake because God needs us. And look, in Matthew, when Jesus went to pray, in the Garden of Gethsemane, there was about to be a shaking. There was salvation hung in the balance. Y'all not hearing me? Salvation, God said, Jesus was saying, I'm about to buy it all back for you. I'm about to pay it all. I'm about to pay the bill that you can't pay. All I need you to do is watch and pray. While I go talk to the Father, I need you to watch and pray. The law is about to be fulfilled and grace is about to be released. And he said, all I need you to do is watch and pray. And he came back and he said, you couldn't even stay awake for an hour. I was paying the penalty for something you did, and you couldn't stay awake for an hour. I'm giving my life for you, and you can't stay awake for an hour. I'm rebuking the devourer for your sake, and you can't stay awake for an hour. This is the only time in the Bible where Jesus asked for prayer. The one time. Have you ever had people like that? I don't ask you for much. The one time I ask you for something. The one time I tell you to watch and pray. All this stuff I've done for you, all these miracles I've worked for you, all this healing I've done for you, all these breakthroughs that I'm giving you, I just need you to watch and pray, and you can't stay awake for an hour. While I'm getting ready to hang salvation, while I'm getting ready to nail everything you done to the cross, you can't stay awake for an hour. Great grace is about to cover you. The law is about to be fulfilled, and you can't stay awake for an hour. Those are the dangers of a sleeping church. So what we did, we stumbled upon this text in Romans, right? And it said, now is a high time for you to wake out your sleep. And, let me know if I'm wrong, but for somebody to wake you, that means they know you sleep. Nobody will attempt to wake you unless they know that you're sleeping. So we stumbled upon the text. He said, hey, people of God, Hey, movement. He said, now is a high time for you to wake out of your sleep, because a sinful condition is a sleeping condition. And y'all know we was coming with the definition. See, I said, man, what did he mean by high time? It's a high time to wake up out your sleep. And see, Bishop, high time means a time beyond the proper time, but before it's too late. Yeah, that bullshit. Oh, yeah. That means it's too long, but it's not too. I thank God that when he woke me up, it had been too long, but it wasn't too late. Oh, y'all got to get that. He said it's a high time for you to wake out of your sleep. It's beyond the proper time, but it's before it's too late. You've been asleep too long, but it's not too late. You've been complacent too long, but it's not too late. You've been in your condition too long, but it's not too late. It's a high time for you to wake out of your sleep, for you to get moving. It's a high time for you to wait. It's been too long. I won't say that you ain't been in it long, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not too late. He said, it's a high time. It's a high time. It's been a long time. It's past the proper time. That means you should have got out of it by now. You should be woke by now. You should be applying this word you're getting by now. But if you move quickly, when Peter was in jail, the angel came and said, Peter, get up quickly. He was asleep. He said, I need you to get up quickly, strap on your sandals, put on your robe, and follow me. And you know what? He did it while Peter was in bondage. He did it while Peter was sleeping. He went to him and showed him. And he said that the angel, it went and got between him and who he was chained to. So the word put a wedge between, oh my God. The word put a wedge between you and bondage. And so what he did, he said, I need you, Peter, I need you to get up quickly. See, and when you read this text, it said the reason you need to get up quickly is because it said now that we are nearer. We are nearer than where we were before. Yeah, than when we first believed. Now that your stand in line, your number in line in the judgment line is closer to when it was when you first should have woke up. But it's a high time. Tell your neighbor, today is a high time. Yeah, don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's a high time. It's been too long, but don't miss it. Don't miss it. Because, and see, it said that he was asleep, and it said it's a proper time. But see, this is what sleep is. Oh, my God. Sleep is sin, but sleep is, in the natural, it's a condition. Yeah. Sleep is a condition in which the nervous system is inactive. Ooh. The eyes are closed. Ooh. The posture muscles, those are the ones that stand you up, are relaxed, and consciousness is practically suspended. Oh, my God. That's from Dr. Merriam-Webster right there. It's a condition in which the nervous system is inactive. Oh, my God. The eyes are closed. The postural muscles are relaxed, and consciousness is practically suspended. Ooh, that's heavy. In other words, a person who is asleep, my God, is inactive, can't see, can't stand, and can't make an intellectual decision. Ooh, I'm going to let that sink before I read it again. He said, now is a high time for you to awake out of your sleep, because when you sleep, you're inactive. You can't see, you can't stand, and you can't make an intellectual decision. Whew. That's a lot you missing, right? Because look, see, the text is saying it's a good time for you to get active. It's a good time for you to open your eyes. It's a good time for you to stand up, and it's a good time for you to make an intellectual decision. He's saying it's been too long that you've been inactive, It's been too long that you can't see. It's been too long that you can't stand. It's been too long that you can't make an intellectual decision, but it's not too late for you to get active. It's not too late for you to open your eyes. It's not too late for you to stand up, and it's not too late to make an intellectual decision because it's a high time for you to wake out of your sleep. Oh, man, I'm still on verse 1. I'm still on the first one. But, man, he said it's a high time. See, the movement, we're laborers, but the sleeper said that you're inactive. Oh, that's disqualification. We're supposed to see the same thing, but the sleeper's eyes are closed. Oh, disqualification. We stand on the word of God, but the sleeper can't stand. Oh, disqualification. And see, when God set life and death before us and he tell us to choose life, when you sleep, you can't make the intellectual decision to choose life. It's a high time to awake out of your sleep, inactive, can't see, can't stand, can't make a decision. Oh, my God. And that's what he's saying. And see, that my message come out of verse 1. We only got to hit 11. We're going to hit the rest, but that's all we got. That's what we got to drive home because he's saying, drug addict, it's been too long. Get active, open your eyes, stand up, make a decision. Alcoholic, it's been too long. Change your behavior, open your eyes, stand up, make a decision. Adulterer, it's been too long. Change your behavior, open your eyes, stand up, make a decision. Non-tithers and manipulators, it's been too long. Change your behavior, open your eyes, stand up, and make a decision because it's a high time to awake out of your sleep. Save folks that still doubt God. It's been too long. Change your behavior, open your eyes, stand up, and make a decision. And see, because the text said, this is why. Because we're running out of time. The countdown, oh, y'all gonna miss. The text says, because now we are closer than we were when we first believed. That means, you remember when Bishop talked about the dash. Your birth date, your dash, and then whenever he call you home, what it's saying is that you on the downward slope of the dash. On the downward slope of the dash, it's a high time for you to get active, for you to change your behavior, for you to open your eyes, for you to stand up, for you to make an intellectual decision, meaning because you're on a downward slope between your birth date and your waiting line for judgment. He said, you're closer now. What that tells me, when I look at that, what that tells me is you have not only just less time to get it right, but more importantly, you got less time to get it wrong. Yeah. Not just you have a little bit of time left to get it right, but you got a little bit of time left to keep getting it wrong because it's a high time to awake. I didn't see God ain't getting instructions and solutions and strategies to people because they sleep. Because the word's still good. God gave Jonah a word. He went to Nineveh. He went to Tarsus, thought he was going. He got on a ship. The word was still good. He was asleep. The word was still good. He woke up. The word was still good. He was in the belly of the fish. The word was still good. He went to Nineveh and gave a still good word. Oh, see, that show ain't nothing wrong with the words. The word, oh my God, see, the word was still good when he gave it, but it went from a sleeper to a speaker. Sleeper to a speaker. And we wonder why we can't get direction from God. And we wonder why we can't get instructions and solutions and our problem solving, our strategy. And he said, I've been talking to you, but you've been asleep. See, people think that they aren't asleep because they still functioning. Yeah, spiritual sleepwalkers. You think you're still functioning, but you're not awake. You still inactive. Your eyes still closed. You still can't stand. You still can't make an intellectual decision. You're a sleepwalker. My goodness. Oh, tight, but it's right. So what he did when he said it's a high time for you to awake out of your sleep because now we're closer or nearer than you were when we first believed. So after he talked about the urgency, Bishop, of an awakened church is expressed, the text tells us this is what's next. So I need you to wake up, and then he said, I need you to take off that stuff that's on you. He said, I need you to take off the works of darkness, the work in darkness. He said, I need you to take that off. I need you to get dressed. And I ain't talking about layers. We don't put good on, we don't put holy on top of, we don't, yeah. He said, before I put this armor of light on you, you got to take off. He said, you got to take it off. In other words, when you sleep, he said, you need to take your night clothes off. How many people dress for bed? And we're sin dresses you for sleep. Oh, my God. Sin dresses you for sleep. He said, I need you to take that off because this don't go with that. Hey, you ever lay the outfit out and say, that don't go with? He said, what I'm trying to put on, this light that I'm trying to put on you, you can't wear that with darkness. He said, I need you to take off. Yeah. I need you to take off the works of darkness. Oh, my God, because sin dresses you for sleep. When he first woke up Lazarus, when he said Lazarus, that one whom he helps, that's us too. When he woke up Lazarus, when he called Lazarus for a private hall, the first thing he addressed is what he was wearing. The first thing, when he said, come forth, he said, wait, before I talk to you, I need you to be released from these night clothes. I need you to be released from these sleep clothes. I need you to be released from these grave clothes. So he said, you got to take them off because you're not dressed. I'm not trying to dress you for where you've been. I'm trying to dress you for where I'm getting ready to take you. Oh, my God. Those grave clothes represent where you were asleep. That nightgown you leave at the house because you were asleep in it. Right. He said, I need you to take that off because you don't need to be dressed for where you've been because it's a high time, which means it's past the proper time for you to change clothes. Ooh, Jesus. So he addresses the clothes because God don't mix that stuff. He don't mix and match what you've been wearing with what you're about to put on. He said, dress for where you're going. I saw a post on Facebook, and they said a man was leaving Florida, and it was sunny, and he had on a trench coat in the airport, and he got on the plane with the trench coat, and it was sunny and hot, no rain, no anything. And everybody came up to him and said, why in the world? Everybody got on shorts and stuff. They said, why in the world do you have this coat and stuff? He said, I'm getting ready to go to New York. I'm not dressing for where I am. I'm dressed for where I'm on. Bishop, I no longer dress for where I am or where I've been. I'm dressing for where I'm getting ready to go. And God said, I need you to take that off because I got something better for you to put on. He said, you can't wear that moving forward. You can't wear your sin clothes moving forward. You can't drink your drug clothes moving forward. You can't wear your drinking clothes moving forward. You can't wear the clothes you fornicated in moving forward. I need you to take this off so I can dress you for your future. So I can dress you for your destiny. So I can dress you for the promise. So I can dress you for your breakthrough. So I can dress you for your deliverance. He said, take that off. And he said, put on the armor of light. Put on the armor of light. Put on the armor of light because darkness can't penetrate. Light can penetrate darkness, but darkness can't penetrate. So he said, put on the armor of light. The light is the only thing that keep you from being penetrated. Oh my God. He said, I need you to he said, take off darkness and put on the armor of light because God knows that darkness ain't got nothing on the light. It's nothing that it can do to the light. It's no hole in it. There's no weakening in the armor. He said, put on the armor of light. He said, take off what's causing death and sleep to look for you. And put on what causes me to look for you. Is that all right? He said, see, Bishop, I believe, oh my God, I believe when God sends out blessings and breakthrough and healing and favor, I think he does it like this. See, when I was doing Uber driving, and I would pick up somebody from like an airport or a crowded place, I would need to know what they wearing so I know who to pick up. And I believe, Bishop, that when favor comes to your location, he want to see what you got. He want to see somebody dressed in faith. He want to see somebody dressed in holiness. He want to see somebody dressed in righteousness so he know where to drop the favor off at. If he came looking for you, you got to be identifiable to the blessing. He only looking for certain items of clothing. It said, exchange your heaviness, your spirit of heaviness for a garment of praise. He said, because that's what he's looking for. When he's trying to identify you, when he's trying to separate you from, when he see a lost crowd, can he see your light? Can he spot, because he knows his armor because he designed it. It was the very first thing he said, let there be. He gave us armor first. He made it back in Genesis, so he know what to look for because he's the manufacturer. You got to be. Is there anybody ready to dress for the occasion? Oh, my God. Is there anyone in favor will be able to identify if it sweep through here? Is there anybody that healing will be able to identify a breakthrough or be able to identify? In the crowd, can a blessing come in the room and identify you? What you're wearing. You know how people, they say you dress weird, you stand out. That's what God is looking for. You don't have the same thing on. Remember we talked about that clean was uncommon? That's right. So you dress like everywhere else, he don't know where to drop the. He don't know where to send the help to because. Can he see your light? Can he see your light? Can he see your light? Proper Hall, in artillery world, sometimes we get, oh my God, we get aircrafts that check on station. Well, we in a firefight and we pin down and our regular weapons aren't working, an aircraft can check on station. Yeah. When it comes to drop stuff, when it comes to drop bombs, the aircraft come in, the first thing he tell you is how many minutes of playtime he have. It's a high times. And it's normally not a long period of time. It's usually about 10 to 15 minutes, right? So he come in and tell you, I need to be able to identify. I need to be able to identify the target so I can drop this off because I don't have a lot of time. And you don't have a lot of time. So what he does, Bishop, is we lays the target and we designate it with a strobe light. We put a light where we want it to hit. We put a light where we want it to release, Bishop. We put a light where we want it to drop off. And see, this is a light that only the pilot can see. The enemy can't see this light, but it's on. Ooh, when I need him to fight for me, Bishop, I can laze the target with the light. And whatever the light is on, he drop. Oh, y'all not with me today. He said, put on the armor of light so when I know to drop this off, I can swing by the hall house. Because I can see the light, and he needs to see the light before he drop what he getting ready to drop on you. Oh, my God. He said, I'm checking on station. It's a high time for you to show me the light. It's a high time because I got so much stuff that I've been trying to drop off. But I don't have a lot of time on stations. It's a high time. I don't have time for you to get ready to wake up and put the light on. I need the light to be on when I get there because I don't have a lot of time to drop. And see, if you let the time, this is how you miss it. If you let the time drop off, or he see the other light before he see your light, and he done dropped off everything. they check off station and you still in the same condition that you were in when you needed a release. He need a light, you need a release. He need a light, you need healing. He need a light, you need breakthrough. He need the light. He said, put on the armor. See, when the bridegroom came out, he only got those that were ready. The only one made it in is the one who had their light ready. The only ones that get the release is the one who got the lights. And I'm just crazy enough to believe that when the dropper is circling around our AO bishop, that he can identify me. And he can drop everything that I've been needing, everything that I've been praying for, he can drop off because he can identify me when he check on station. See, I'm dressed with the light. I keep it on. I keep the light. I'm not changing out of this. I'm not changing out of this armor of light. And I believe that he's about to drop some stuff. I believe that he's about to drop some stuff, Bishop, that we've been praying for years. Yeah. I'm talking about stuff we've been praying for a long time. I'm talking about stuff we almost gave up on, but he's swinging through the AO, Bishop. Yeah. And he got bombs on board that he's getting ready to drop. And I believe that if I got on my light, I believe that he's going to drop by the Cooley house because the light is on. I believe he's going to drop by the Hazley house because the light is on. I believe he's going to drop by the Collins and the Terry and the Hall house because the light is on. Ooh, he said not only you need to put on the light, you need to put on Christ. And see, then it says, because the text says this is what you got to do. You got to do this, and then you make no provision for the flesh. That means don't take off what I put. Don't take off what I gave you to keep on. And see, the problem is people will change clothes, but won't throw the old clothes out. Mm-hmm. You'll change, but you won't. If you don't throw it out, you'll be tempted to put it on again. If you put it on again, you might be past your high time. Some folks fighting alcohol still going to happy hour. Some folks battling gambling are still in the casino. It said make no provision. You got to throw that stuff away. Because as long as it's available, it's an option. Yeah. As long as it's available, it's an option. So we said once you put this on, make no provision. That means don't keep the works of darkness around you. You got to separate yourself. You know, certain places you can't go in if you're dressed a certain way. That's right. The kingdom is like that. Yeah, y'all get that later. The kingdom is like that. It said make no provision because it's a high time. Yeah. I'm almost in my seat. It's a high time to wake up. He said if the church don't wake up, the world can't wake up. If the light is not on, I can't release what I have because I can't identify you. It said it's a high time. He said we got to wake up. We got to get active. We got to open our eyes. We got to stand up. And we got to make an intellectual decision. Sleep limits you from all that stuff. Sleep is limiting you being active. It's limiting you being able to see. It's limiting you being able to stand. It's limiting you being able to make an intellectual decision. But you could cure all that by waking up. You could cure it all by waking up by getting up, by taking off, by putting on, by making no provisions for. Because, number one, the lost are dependent on the word from us. The enemy is after us, and God needs us to watch and to pray. Church, get up, get dressed, and get out. Yes,